Hey guys, and welcome to one of the first PvP builds that I'll be bringing you myself. This is Stephen from Gauntlets, and this sort of build is quite a weird one. A combination of miracles and sorcery, using the Velka's talisman, using the Moonlight sword, and using the grass crest shield. Now this the first few fights you might see me using the Manus catalyst. It was the highest possible magic adjust that I could get other than the tin crystal catalyst, but I completely forgot the Manus catalyst also halves your castings as well, so you may as well use the tin catalyst because it's far lighter as well. Manus catalyst weighs like 5. But I did switch it to the Beatrice catalyst. In the start I was also using the bellowing ring, but I switched that to the wolf ring as well, and I put on the Catarina gauntlets. So the armour for the build is of course Crown of Dusk, the Sage Robe, the Sage Robe that we have here, but the finishing armour piece is Crown of Dusk, Dingy Robe, Catarina Gauntlets, and the Brigand trousers. And the point of the Catarina Gauntlets is that mixed in with the Wolf Ring gives you 53 poise, which is that sweet spot for taking a hit from every single weapon in the game. So the purpose of this build is to use the Velka's talisman to use Tranquil walk a piece, so that they can't roll out the way of your Moonlight sword. And of course when you're using Faith, I mean I just put the Faith up to 28 so that we could use Wrath of God, because it's a really good sort of get out of the situation card. And you'll see that in this I have picked, it's been a selection of clips that I got just before I've done this. I've recorded for about maybe an hour tops, and I just grabbed the best fights that were there. This fight goes on for quite a while, but I do eventually get him. So I have sped this fight up a little bit because of how long it took me to actually get the last blow in, but this one here is really just showing you the amount of versatility that's in the build, where you don't even have to really swing the sword once. I don't think I hit him with the sword once in this entire fight maybe. I'm just using Wrath of God, Soul Spears, Dark Beads, that kind of thing. I should really go over the... so with the 19 attunement that we have in the build, the 5 spells that I decided to go with are Wrath of God, and Tranquil walk a piece for the Velka's talisman on the left hand, and for the right hand spells we've got Home and Soulmass, Soul Spear, and of course Dark Bead. I would have I'd prefer to use two stacks of Soul Spear, but people do complain when you're double stacking, so it's either a case of use something they're going to complain about, or use something they're going to complain about. So I decided to go with Dark Bead. And in this video here I'm testing Gravelord Sword Dance. I did switch out for TWAP because I tried quite a few PvP battles and I just basically couldn't hit anyone. But as you can see here, I am just rolling around and doing my best to land a hit, because this fight's been going on for ages and I really hate getting in close. That's why I'm being so picky with my range. I really do hate getting in close against a gold tracer, but eventually I did win, so there you go. This fight this guy's using a great sword as well. We get into a little bit of a tussle. This should be a fairly interesting fight if I do remember, but yeah, so the build is really fun. It allows you to play a really versatile game where you get a mixture of, you can go in close with the Moonlight sword because it's not got the worst attack pattern in the game. It's got a really good attack swing. It's fairly quick. It stun locks rather easily. Its special attacks are great. You use the two-handed special attack, I think is how I either kill this guy or the next guy. They end up rolling in. I break the lock and I just free aim it and they roll into the explosion, which is just amazing. It looked cool as fuck. So you'll be able to see that. This guy here, he almost got rattled. The amount of people I've killed by hitting them with Soulmass and the one-handed special of the Moonlight sword is unreal. It does. Yeah, this guy right here just rolls right into the explosion, and that's one of the things I love about the Moonlight sword. So yeah, we'll just quickly go over the build. I'll probably put it in the description anyway, but it's a level 120 build, Vitality 42, Attunement 19, Endurance 40, Strength 16, Dex 10, Resistance is just bare minimum, Intelligence 36, and Faith is at 28, and I started off with the Bandit class as, just the starting class of course. The items that I am using down that you'll see on my hotkeys is the Red Eye Orb, some Humanity, some Repair Powder, some Green Blossom, and of course some Poison Throwing Knives. Green Blossom is for after TWAP because you can't use Tranquil walk a piece and Green Blossom at the same time. So your first setup really should be for this is to go Home and Soul. That guy just got railed. Home and Soulmass and Soul Speared at point blank. What happened there was that the Soulmass hit him and broke his guard, and then the Soul Spear just hit him for max damage because it was an attack of opportunity because he was stunned as well. So yeah, as you can see here, this is the way you want to do it. You want to go home in Soulmass, hit Twop, hopefully they don't bolt away like this guy does, but this turns out to be quite an interesting fight anyway, and one of the closest calls in Dark Souls PvP that you'll probably ever see. It is a ridiculously close call. I think I have like 2 HP at the end of this fight or something. It's brilliant. So he ran me through a few of the enemies that I hadn't killed, because sometimes people run this way. I just tend not to clear it out, but I do what I usually do, pop in, get 2 wraths off if I can, but I don't spam them one after the other because that's easy to telegraph and get out of the way of. And now we're in a much more confined space, which actually serves me a little bit more than it serves him, because the Moonlight sword, if he gets too close to me and I use the two-handed special attack, I just have to break lock and look down and it's going to hit him. So this kind of benefited me quite a bit. I think I kill him with a Soulmass, but the build is fantastic. So I definitely encourage you guys to go out and give this build a try. It's weak against sorcery because of the Crown of Dusk. You take extra damage from sorcery. It doesn't have a lot of defense, being in the fact that it does only have the 53 poise that you need for PvP via the Catarina Gauntlets and the Wolf Ring. And it's got quite low bleed resistance. I'm just looking over the sheet right now. Its bleed resistance at 200, which is about average really. The poison resist is on the low side though. The poison resist is at 110, so you could take I think you could take 4 hits from the large club before you're poisoned. So that's a little bit on the low side, but you don't really need to worry about that online. The biggest issue with this build is that your defences are quite low, your physical defence is quite low because of the armour setup and because all your points have went into intelligence and faith as opposed to going into endurance and vitality. So you're running a little bit low on physical armour, but you can more than make up for it with the 25% manoeuvrability speed, and all your sorceries combined, you do an absolute train wreck of damage if you hit people with them, because it's easy to get the combo off with the Home and Soulmass and Soul Spear. I think I killed this guy, or it would have been one earlier on, where he goes to cast Soulmass and I just drilled him in the face with Soul Spear. So this guy, however, I do have to give credit to. I think I bowed twice to this guy because it's such a good fight. He then actually, after this one, he invaded me back and then won. So props to this guy. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway. So that's my take on one of the more preferable sort of spell slinger builds where we're using both int and faith to get the job done. So thanks again guys for watching, and of course we'll talk to you guys again in the next video. See ya.